With the supposed stimulus deadline now come and past, what is next? I'm going to share with you why I don't think the stimulus bill is dead, what President Donald Trump is likely to do this week, how negotiations are going to continue forward, and where each side is not negotiating honestly. Yes, both sides. Welcome back, everybody. This is your stimulus update for Saturday, August 8th. A lot to share with you in this episode, but before I get into it, I want to mention that the President Trump and Joe Biden debates are coming up in late September, and I am going to be heavily covering those debates and the interactions between the two of them. If that is something you're interested in, consider subscribing to the channel. Remember, subscribing to the channel is completely free. There is no cost to it. It is free content. If you're interested in what is going on with those debates and those two in the upcoming election, please join me, subscribe to the channel. You will not regret it. It's going to be really good. I'm going to make sure I cover it very well for you. Moving on now to the stimulus information. Here, the deadline has come and passed. It was yesterday on Friday, but the deal is not done yet. So Secretary of Treasury Steven Mnuchin said this: the president would like us to make a deal, but unfortunately, we did not make any progress today. To the extent that they are willing to make new proposals, White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows and I will be back anytime to listen to new proposals. And then Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer also agreed that they were willing to continue the negotiations as well. And both sides agreed that congressional action by the Senate and the House is the appropriate way to proceed forward. So there's a lot of agreement that the negotiations will continue forward and that something will happen eventually. It will get passed, although be it not soon enough. Now, with the Congress failing us on passing this bill, President Donald Trump did say that he is going to take unilateral action, and this is the way he put it. He said, if Democrats continue to hold this critical relief hostage, I will act under my authority as president to get the Americans the relief that they need. He also added that Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer continue to insist on radical left-wing policies that have nothing to do with the China virus. So you have a virus that comes in, and you have people in Congress that do not want to help our people, Trump said. And then he said, I am going to issue a national economic state of emergency. I am going to unilaterally put in stimulus relief aid. So is he really going to do this? It's most likely he is. He has not done it yet as of the recording of this video on Saturday, August 8th, but it's likely because of the stalling of negotiations that he will issue executive orders. What are those executive orders going to look like, and what are they going to do? First, he says we are going to have the payroll tax cut. It's going to go until the end of the year. It will be retroactive until July 1st. So we're going to go back to July 1st, and it will go to the end of the payroll tax. At the end of the year, it may be extended. I know I sound a little weird reading it, but this is just Donald Trump's quote here. So he is going to have a payroll tax cut. Now, as far as his authority is concerned as a president, he can defer tax payments. That's completely within his authority. However, I am unsure if he can actually cut taxes without congressional action. I don't know if there's any precedent for that at all. Now, I know once he claims that there's a national economic state of emergency, that they may embed him with the powers to do such a thing, but I don't think we've seen it before. But that is a part of his plans to cut payroll taxes. And of course, that will be good for those individuals that have jobs and who are working. The higher you get paid, the more money you're going to be getting in your weekly paycheck because it's not going to be going to payroll taxes. Another executive order that President Donald Trump said he is going to issue because of Congress stalling out this bill is that we're going to enhance unemployment benefits through the end of the year. Now, he didn't say what the number is going to be. Is it going to be $600? Is it going to be $200? No mention of that at all. And also, very critically, where is the money going to come from? I mean, that's a lot of money to continue that sort of a boost, especially if it's more towards the $600 number. There is a lot of individuals saying that there is money in some disaster relief areas. Also, there's still some money left over from the CARES Act that might be able to be shifted into the unemployment sector. So we don't know exactly how it's going to go down. A third executive order that he said he's going to do is that he would defer student loan payments and also forgive interest payments until further notice. By the way, as president, he can absolutely defer student loan payments, and the interest probably not going to be a problem for him as well. He also said, and this is a fourth executive order, is that he's going to extend the eviction moratorium. He said people are evicted, not their fault. So the eviction moratorium lasted until July 24th under the CARES Act. He is going to extend that probably throughout the end of the year. Again, he can do this. This is within his power to do, but where is the money going to come from to support the landlords? Now, this is a situation where an individual can get evicted because they're not paying their rent, but of course, the CARES Act is going to supply aid to the landlords. Where is the money going to come from to supply the aid to those who are no longer able to evict individuals who are not paying? That's yet to be seen. I don't know if there's even enough money to do such a thing, and that's why congressional action is really needed here. So I do believe that President Donald Trump will be issuing executive orders in the upcoming week, but at the same time, negotiations are going to continue. So where are the problems with the negotiations? I'm going to share with you where each side is not being honest right now. First, the Republicans. With the Republicans, there are about 20 individuals in the Senate, about 1/3 of Senate Republicans, who will not vote for anything. They won't even vote for the $1 trillion bill. These individuals have been used as a negotiating tactic against Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer that, hey, we can't go much higher than the $1 trillion number. We've got 20 individuals in the Senate who aren't even willing to really vote for this. You can't use those individuals as a negotiating tactic because they're not willing to vote for anything. You need to shift your focus to a bipartisan bill in which you say those 20 individuals aren't going to vote for it, but the Democrats, who are around, 48 or so in the Senate, will end up voting for something as the numbers move up into an area where the Democrats are comfortable voting for it. I don't think Mark Meadows and Steven Mnuchin have raised their number up enough. I think they're probably hovering right around the $1.5 trillion number. It's a lot of speculation on my part because they're not actually being clear with what they're raising their numbers on, but it doesn't seem to me like they've hit that $2 trillion number. If they have, I think they would be stating that. So it makes me think that they're around the $1.5 trillion number. So where they need to negotiate a little bit more honestly is they need to forget about the 20 people who won't vote for anything. And they need to realize they're on the extreme fringe right now during this pandemic. We need to issue in a little bit more of a compromise up to the $2 trillion number. Now on to the Democrats. And this revolves around Nancy Pelosi coming out in the last couple of days and Chuck Schumer both saying, we told them we're going to come down $1 trillion and you come up $1 trillion and that'll get us close to the middle and then we can negotiate from there. Anyone watching that, it sounds really good and it makes you think, whoa, she just said, we'll come down $1 trillion. You come up $1 trillion. And Republicans said, no, how dare they refuse such a thing? But if you take a little bit of time to look a little closer into what she's saying, you will see that she is being dishonest in what she is offering as far as lowering the $1 trillion. Because this is what it's going to do. She still wants all of the money that's in there, all of the pork money, all of the money going to different things that have nothing to do with this pandemic. She wants the $915 billion for the states. She still wants the same unemployment numbers and across the board, all of the same money. The only difference is she's going to end programs earlier, meaning that the states are going to get $915 billion, but unemployment boost is going to end in October. Meaning all the pork is going to go out, but the loan money and the help for small businesses is going to end a lot earlier. So anything that's time sensitive in the bill where money would be continued to be offered to individuals and people and businesses throughout the rest of the year will not be. She will lower that, and that's where she's going to make up the $1 trillion. That is dishonest because what's going to end up happening is once October hits, they're going to have to extend the unemployment. They're going to have to extend the business help and they're going to have to make another bill. And then she's going to come out and say, hey, we got to make another bill. But if you make another bill and you add more money to it, then you didn't really lower your thing by $1 trillion anyway. You just lowered it by $1 trillion for this bill, lessened the amount of time, and then went to write another bill, which you're going to put that money back in there anyway. I hope it's making sense how I'm saying this. She's not quite being honest with it, and it only takes a little bit of effort to look into what she's saying to see That is not right, and that is not fair. So what should be required of both sides going forward? They should both be required to construct a new bill that lasts throughout the rest of the year. That is the time frame. December 31st, 2020. Unemployment benefits, PPP, any small business, anything else you want to include in it, it must go to the end of the year. And you must construct a bill that is between $2 to $2.4 trillion. Both sides must be required to do that. Now, of course, Republicans are probably going to come in at $2 trillion and Democrats will come in at $2.4 trillion. No games with the time frame. No ending things earlier. No finagling stuff so that you can get your money in there how you want to do it. No, it goes to December 31st. You construct a new bill. Then you meet together after a week and you negotiate your bill. You must give up $200 billion. So Republicans, if you wrote a $2 trillion bill, you must come to 2.2. Democrats must come from 2.4 down to 2.2. You negotiate and you compromise those areas of disagreement and you have your new bill. If you guys like that proposal, like the video, share it. Remember also the presidential debates are coming up between President Trump and Joe Biden. If you want to be in on the analysis I am going to give from those debates, I'm going to show you all the highlights and give you my thoughts. Consider subscribing to the channel. Again, I don't think you're going to be disappointed. They're coming up at the end of September. There are 3 in total, so I think you're going to want to see those. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed the information today on the channel. I really appreciate you guys coming along with me. As always, I will catch you next time.